And Wook, joined by Kev the Great Went and T. What's up, guys?
Mm.
Tonight was a great night, don't you think?
Under the influence of the Allman Brothers.
A little bit, yeah, a lot of bit actually. A lot of almonds in there, a lot of
almonds.
playfulness, a lot of face melting and shredding, and all sorts of goodies.
Hopefully, you don't have a
tonight.
nut allergy after all that.
It has been a theme of the summer with the Allman Brothers, so I'm not complaining. I like it.
But especially after Billy, well, we'll get into it. But after the second song, I guess Trey was like, "What was that?"
Oh, that was fucking great. My friend
You don't
jam.
get that when he amazed himself. The band amazed him in the moment.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it because this was one hell of a show, and I want to really dig in. First two kick things off, super high energy, kind of the upside down show set up again, but I love it. I think it's a great way to get things moving.
I mean, it opens every now and then, like we talk about where its place is best utilized sometimes. Encore, end of a set, opener of a show, which is great. I mean, fuck yeah, step into it. Let's go.
It says first in the title, so
I know. I felt it like was extra climaxy and like had like the whole still doing the Jedi thing, which I love that energy at the top.
I feel like they're pumped up. Trey does
exactly.
that. He's pumped. He's like, let's get this going, man.
And then that No Man, speaking of pumped up and going, I mean, it wasn't super long, but they've packed so much into a fairly short period of time. Really, right out of the grip.
I mean, that No Man's.
A Trey at the end. Couldn't, they got into that weird jam, something that you don't normally hear from them. And I feel like we got that repeatedly in this show, that it had the most, we've been saying every couple shows, I'm like, this is the best show on tour. So I'm not going to say that this time, but I'm going to say that this show had more interesting jams in it per capita than any other show on tour.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah, of the ones I've been able to listen to and watch and see, this one, top to bottom, was probably my favorite show as far as set list construction, playing wise, jam potentials, jams that were in the show. First set was a monster. I thought, like, a lot of fun, and I was a little worried where second set was going to go from here, if it would be up or down from there, or where we were going to go. And it was a pleasant surprise. Like, it really held true the whole show. So this first set really, I think, set up what was coming for the show. And this No Man's was like the table layer, the table setter of the show, really, for me. It kind of, you could hear elements of the jam throughout the rest of the night too, and just sort of where it went. 11 minutes in the two spot's been hot lately. It seems like it's been sort of a jammy place, the 2 or 3 spot in this tour. So it's pretty sweet to see it continuing.
I think what you're getting at with the second set coming in strong is what makes tonight so special, because it was consistent the entire time. I'm really hard pressed to find a moment where it lost me, right? Like it captured you the entire time and just kept accelerating. There was, and we talked about this at the set break at the member hang, there were some minor flubs and in the composed sections, Trey fell off a couple of times, and I did not give a fuck at all, because all the jamming and all the playing after all those points was so spot on. But I think Cavern and my friend was when I started really noticing it, where he was like, it was weird, because it's like it was almost like he would forget where they were in the song until they were there. And because they're phenomenal musicians, he would like instantly adjust and it would be fine. But it kept having that stutter a little bit, like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing, But it's barely a complaint.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, well, I did.
I love Cavern, and I love Cavern as the third song.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's ever hung out there. I mean, probably in the early days, but usually it's a closer, or they've opened the second set with it a few times, but in the middle of a set, just popping up.
Yeah, they really don't care where songs end up anymore. It feels like anything.
I love it. I love it. It feels so free. It's kind of almost like what Dead Company was doing at the Sphere, you know, with like the way the songs are just wherever they want to be right now. Like, you know, you'll get a Help Slip, but not necessarily a Franken. You'll get like these random songs, you know, like just the way because that's what I was saying about the setlist construction is it's so fun. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of like I don't know. It's a lot of it flows well. It flows well. It's fun, even though it's a little messed up and backwards, or like things are just sort of like where they are randomized. It almost feels like it still works awesomely.
He's using AI.
As good as these first three were, I think my friend was when, at least for me, I realized that it was a special, going to be a special night, and
the
jam on this.
False.
It was fucking great. Excellent jam. That was, I think this was the one that shocked him, right? Where he was like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Was it this one? I thought it might have been No Man's, but it might have been this. Yeah. Longest one. They topped the last one. It's got 6 out of the last 7, or at least 12, 13 minutes. This one has become a monster. I'm waiting for it to pop in the second set one day and just completely destroy a second set.
I love that it's a jam vehicle because it's like classic composed, the fishiest fish, but then also the jammiest fish, and works so well together.
Well,
and
it has
fresh,
like
it's new.
It has like the two faces, you know, like the theater, the happy and the it's kind of like joy fish, and then it twists and turns into evil fish.
Yeah, like comedy and drama.
Yeah, it's got the two faces to it. It's very like that Janice kind of feeling to it, where it's got the two. I love this. It's such a great song. Like it had because it has both those elements. It has that. Yeah, everything's fantastic, and then the storm moves in and gets dirty, and like you're like, wait, what the fuck? Where we were just outside in the sun. So, and this was great. I love it when it jams like this and when it goes places. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But what does the song say about marriage?
Watch your back. Bug is a song I had kind of written off, not for any specific reason, but I just had forgotten about it, I guess, or it hadn't really worked for me for years. I mean, I'm almost a decade, and I feel like tonight it kind of just reminded me why it's a good song and not to forget about it. Like in particular, and I know I always stand fish, but the drums, those like Phil's bringing it in were phenomenal. He was so on point. The whole band I just thought it was really an excellent version of that song.
I'm gonna just say to Truncated Slay here that they did, and it was a monster. Cassidy, Truckin', Telio, Jackstraw, and Cold Rain and Snow. Like, if you're gonna go 5-song set, what more do you want? That was monster. Sorry, I had to
see what happens. Kev T comes back to the fish show, and all he talks about is fucking Dead and Go.
It's their last weekend at the Sphere. It's a special weekend.
Last night they did Passenger.
I know. Last night was ripping. That first set ripped.
Tonight, I tell you what, tonight Fish did Bug, and the coolest thing was the Norwegian Wood tease, and that's all I got to say about that.
What do you think about Julius?
Got to say about that. He had that to say at the intermission too. He's very happy about Norwegian Wood.
Yeah, he loves his Norwegian Wood.
Norwegian
Kev,
Wood.
what do you think about Julius?
I am a huge fan, and I felt like Paige was very piano-centric tonight. The whole thing in Julius, he like hit some piano with it. During Taste, when we get to it, I mean, he was playing piano, went to turn around and get on the organ, and then came back and started playing the piano again. And I love the consistency through that.
Yeah, there was some point in it, and I'm not sure who turned the knob up, but hypothetically, but where it was like a standard Julius through like 7 minutes, and then all of a sudden they turned it up, and like it just had this extra fire to it, to the point where I stopped what I was doing, and like I was like, holy shit, like this Julius rips right now, which was Julius is not one of those songs you expect to rip, but in this set with all of this going on, it just kept things moving, and then this 2001, holy crap. We've been talking a lot this year and probably last tour too about how they keep not butchering, but like neutering or cutting short 2001, doing one pass through it, no jam. And even like the groove, PHiSH's hands a little bit slower in the past, and like it's like fine, but like it has so much potential. We've been so desperate and hungry for it to get the treatment, and I feel like tonight they gave it to it, right? It had everything. It had a tight groove, it had an exploratory jam, it had an awesome build up, probably like 3 or 4 times around the pass. So
right, it
really
got
awesome.
to second base. It got to second base and was heading around to third hard, but I think it got called out right before it was made it to third.
Gonna get the inside the park home run. Didn't quite.
I liked it. I'm glad that when they run through it a few times instead of just leaving it once. I mean, I guess ultimately that's the thing. It's, you know, in the moment when they're playing it, it's trance-like. And the lights, CK5's lights. I love that he did the square thing that looked like steps almost going up during it. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Sweet. I mean, the lights have been.
I had to turn that off.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is it new?
No, I don't think it needed more though.
It's the same rig from last year, isn't it? Or did they add anything? Have you noticed?
I thought in the Billy String shows it looked different to me, but I haven't gone back and looked to compare if it's gotten if it's gotten more, but it looked like there was a couple times where when he's got it at different levels, you know, and it's like it almost looks like it's got an extra layer to it because it looks very three-dimensional these days with some of the things he does, more so than it used to when he would do the layers, and it would look, you could tell they were kind of stacked. Now it looks a little bit more like there's depth to it, so I don't know what's different about it, but it definitely looked a little bit different.
I thought that it was programming in new movements. Like it looked like the same equipment and the same lights and everything. I think they've just added different programmed, right? Because he only has a certain library of motions and lights and everything. And I think he just programmed in new, you know.
They may have only had the full moving rig 1 or 2 of the venues this tour, and the rest of them I think were too small to have the full rig in it.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering too. Was like which ones it could. It looked like Minnesota or the Michigan shows or wherever they just were with Billy Strings had a little bit different setup for it. So,
right.
But it's still fucking awesome. Look good.
Yeah. What did you think about that taste tea?
7 minutes. It, does its job where it was. I thought these 2 songs to close out the set were great. I thought it was a good after the jammy 2001 fun funk, fest. You get a little bit of a taste to pull you around. And then I thought it set up the Character Zero really well. 2 7-minute bangers to go out with are great.
Yeah, I love Taste. It's one of my favorite rhythmic, polyrhythmic songs they do, and it just makes me bounce. I'm just like, I can't help but like, you just get a little bounce when you're listening to it. And yeah, I agree. I think it set up the end of the set, and I don't know. I'm kind of over Zero. Like, I don't know if that's weird. I don't hate it, but like, I don't know. I feel like this was the one point if I had to be like hypercritical that I was like, on choice, not on execution, on choice, I was like, maybe there's a better way to close the set.
Oh, beautiful.
But
like it's one of those, it's the rock anthem song like Kevin and I talk about to close the set. Like it always does its job there. I like it. I
know, but how many times has it been there? I think, dude, because everything else is so playful and so innovative, it just felt like such a default traditional first set closer.
But I like that they put it there because they had the encore planned of what they were going to do with the encore with everything. So I thought it was a good choice to put it at the end of the first set to leave you in that rockin' ready for the second set mode, which then when they come out in the second set, it's like go time. So it just kind of like continued through.
Yeah.
What, Kev?
I was just going to say that the one in Massachusetts kind of ruined it for me a little bit, but it's one of their top 3 set closers. I can't fault the song for being what it is.
Top 3 set closers?
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
No. What do you mean?
Hood, Slave, Antelope are the top 3 set closers. And I could probably think of 10 more. No, that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules.
No,
I just report it.
Slave is an encore song now, so
okay. But it was also a set closer. All right, let us know in the comments if you're watching this afterwards what the top 3 set closers are, and we will settle this argument another time.
I will say if it's not in the top 3, it's definitely in that top 5 range there, though. It might not be top 3.
Yes.
But it's in that top 5 area.
I'm not going to be trolled into bitching about Character Zero. I like the song. I just felt.
What's your favorite bluegrass song, Tim?
Ginseng, probably. I don't know. They all sound the same to me.
Excellent.
Yeah, Bowie. All right. Let me do the separate thing real fast so we can get into the second set, because the second set was phenomenal. We are so close to hitting 5,000 subs. At the beginning of tour, we were several hundred away. I think like 300 or 400 away. And I was like, I don't think it's going to happen by Monday Green. But we made that a goal. And because of all of you, well, at least those of you who are subscribed, it is now within reach. We're like 12 subs or 13 subs. So it'd be cool if we could get it tonight. But if not, maybe definitely going to try to get it before Monday Green. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and like this video. And again, if you're watching afterwards, not live, let us know in the comments. We love hearing all the takes, what you thought of tonight, what you thought of our recap, and cool. Set 2.
Yeah. And if we make it to 5,000 for Monday Green, we're going to bring in champagne in plastic bottles.
Yeah, plastic. Celebrate. Definitely plastic.
And play a champagne flute.
Yes. Well, no,
straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the plastic bottle. Yeah. We got to spray it on each other.
Yeah.
All right. We kick things off with the Wedge. It was one of those examples. I think we talked about this the other night with Party Time, where you could feel them getting locked in throughout the song. Like it started and it was a little bit off, but by the end of it, it was, no looking back, completely locked in, and off to the races. And I love that song too. It's just a good song.
It's an interesting place for it to open that set. I almost feel like too, Kev, it's kind of like it's in the second set, but it kind of has that like Samson Delilah, like Feel Like a Stranger feel to it, where if it's opening the set, it's usually starting something coming. You know what I mean? Because it's an odd place for it to open with it, and it's like such a like an opener, you know what I mean? Like you don't know what's after. Like here we go. Like it's like there's things behind. Like like you're kind of like, oh, we're getting a Samson. Okay, this is gonna be a fun second set here. Where are we going? And I think tonight was a fucking sweet example of that.
Yeah, people like the Wedge. How about that Tweezer?
I mean,
yeah, dude, so good.
I think 20 minutes, 24 minutes it's people are like, the other one was so much longer, but I think this was a perfectly spent 24 minutes and, dripping with just the Allman Brothers throughout it several different times. I was like, I know that song. Now it's probably in another key and it wasn't exactly the same notes, but it just triggered all these things. Listening to it, just a fantastic exploration, and I really feel like Trey is juiced up after playing with Billy. He's like, I got stuff to learn.
I don't know about Billy, but yeah, I think when you have a set like this with, I don't even want to call it a fest, but the returning of themes and the in and out with the jams and the sandwiches and stuff, the looking at size is a really bad indicator of how good the jamming in is and the set is. This set was almost perfect from top to bottom, and I think that going into Pillow Jets and what they did with the Pillow Jets jam had to have happened at that moment. It was exactly what the music called for, and that Tweezer was half the size of the other Tweezer, but for tonight and what this set was, I think it was perfect.
Yeah. I mean, not all great tweezers are 20 minutes long or 40. You know what I mean? Like there's always some good Like one of my favorite ones isn't that long. It just has it's what they do with the jam and where it goes sometimes. And like, yeah, sometimes when it gets deeper, you get those breakdowns and the crazy shit in it. But I don't know. I thought tonight's was pretty fucking solid as the one after the big one. You could say something like that.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. So it's still fucking did its job. Was a tweezer.
Yeah, and the Pillow Jets was filthy in the best possible way. It was sonically so interesting and had a lot of the bloops and the bleeps.
Right after they were done the vocal, boom, Trey just took it. They conjured. They just took it deep. And for
the
me,
thunder was when it hit, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's probably my favorite jam of the night, just because it was sick and dirty, 75-80% of it. And then they did a little almonds on the end before they found their way back to Tweezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that what I thought they were doing there, the Allman Brothers song is Libre in A minor, and somebody told me on Twitter that Tweezer is in A minor. So I was like, yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, it was the almonds that segued back into the Tweezer, so that does make a lot of sense. I love this. I don't know where the almonds this thing is coming from. It was before Billy though. Like they've been doing it all summer.
Oh yeah, all
right?
tour.
Yeah, and now it feels like more than a coincidence. Like there has to be some reason.
The Sphere had it. Well, Dickie died this year, didn't he? Maybe that popped in Trey's head and he started throwing on some old Almonds albums, threw on Eat a Peach or something.
But it's crazy how much those jams sound like that, like where they've been going into. Like it's so noticeable. It's really sticks out. Like it's funny, but
it seems purposeful. Like it's like you know.
Right, best piper in a long time and still totally into it. Boom. The no-bill piper, but the jam out of it, again, so interesting. Something you've never heard before.
Though. I was almost thinking it was not a slow build, but just a slow piper, right? Like, because the whole jam had a kind of a plodding tempo to it. And I don't remember, did they come out? They didn't come out of the jam back into it. So, like, it's a no build. Yeah, no build as in, like, not right into it, but just like very standard and slow, right? Or am I am I not remembering it right? I don't think they ever built it up or got it fast. The whole thing was kind of like half tempo, it felt like.
Until they found Tweezer.
Protest.
I would say it's a fair assessment because the jam was so interesting. They didn't do exactly what you would expect, and they found a lot of places that they explored in Pillow Jets and Tweezer, and it was like they were almost, to me, it sounded like they were learning in real time tonight. They were figuring things out. It wasn't exactly perfect, but they were learning some new tricks for the old dogs that they are.
Yeah, it felt like a young band again, right? Like they're having fun with it. They're being innovative. They weren't just replicating a jam that they had done 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like the whole night felt super fresh. Even the banter, Trey felt, you know what I mean? Like it felt like a recording of a young band almost. It was cool.
Cool.
Right. Of all the Rolling Stones songs, this is not my favorite. And when I hear them play it, I'm like, the Rolling Stones have so many songs. Couldn't you do like a Ruby Tuesday or
come on, this was awesome.
I love this song.
Yeah, this was great, Kev. What are you talking about?
You guys love it.
It's no Torn and Frayed, but I still love it. Like I don't know the last time they played Torn and Frayed.
I love Loving Cup. I'm a Loving Cup guy.
It's so much.
Yeah, but they play that all the time. It's nice to get Shine a Light.
Yeah, I know. I think the last one we got was at Dick's last year, right?
Yeah, we caught one at Dick's. We did.
Yeah, that was great. I love that song. It's so good. I love when they sing it. It's so. I mean, again, Torn and Frayed, sure. Some of the other ones like we haven't heard in a while, but I always take a Shine a Light. That's great.
Sympathy. Come on, why don't they give Sympathy a try?
I like to hear Can't You Hear Me Knocking jam again inside something.
Oh, a week or something. Yeah. That would be fun. All right, back to what we were doing. I think Chalk Dust was the least interesting thing. You guys can roll with it.
I like the jam. I thought it had a really cool jam. Again, like I thought it took off into a really cool place. At 11, I was surprised it was only 11 minutes because it felt like it went a lot longer than that. But it was a really cool. I really liked where it went, and then coming back into it, like I was kind of surprised at how far, how jammy it got for where it was. Like I was like, oh man, they're really. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was a really good jam. Like especially
I agree with you 100%. I think this might be your worst take, Kev. This Chalk Dust had everything in it, and including a Yankee Doodle tease. And Mike and Trey, I have not heard them this locked in, maybe ever. I know that's like hyperbole, and people are going to be like, "Oh, what the hell are you talking about?" But Trey would hint something, and before the bar was over, within a beat, Mike would pick it up and echo it. And they were doing this interplay back and forth in the jam at like warp speed. They modulated perfectly. I mean, yes, it was tight. It was small. It was a very micro-esque jam. But every second of this jam was used wisely and delivered. And closed the set. It did two things, and that's hard to do. You can either usually have a type 1 rocker that closes it like a 0, or you could have a exploratory jam. This did both. This gave you new areas of the jam and was awesome closing of the set.
Would you call it a 1.5 jam?
No, I think it was legit 2.0. I mean, if you're gonna put Yankee Doodle in it, you're in 2.0 territory. Like there's no 1.0 territory that talking about, not 1.0, type 1. Sorry. You threw me off.
We
with
got
the
what
point,
you were saying.
Yeah. No, it was type 2, fully type 2.
I tell you what, pound for pound, Big Black Furry Creature from Mars is as close as they ever got to punk rock. And if it had different lyrics, it is a legitimate punk rock riff that they open that song with. And I will welcome it any day of the week. I absolutely just love when they get loud and have fun.
Totally. It's so good. It's so fun. It's such a great encore, and it always means there's more to come too, which is always one of those fun parts about it. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love that evilly dark side of PHiSH too, when they break this out in the punk rock feel, and just like it just makes me think of like seeing them in 1.0, and when we'd get these, and like just it was so much fun. Like, this is fun PHiSH. This whole night was
unbridled joy. It's unbridled.
Totally.
I agree with both of you. I loved it. I actually loved the Jibboo too. It's like a very odd choice, but on a night like this where everything was kind of innovative and fresh and everything and off place a little bit, I think it was a really good choice. And it was great. It was really well executed too. They were so locked in on it.
We got some
loop.
See,
that's what I was gonna say, Bill. Fuck Your Face is definitely up there too. That Big Black Furry is both scratch that same itch.
We got some like 97 kind of 98 loop sounds in the God of Jibboo, which was nice to have that tip of the hat there.
You know what, Kev? People like more.
People do like more, man.
They do.
A lot of people like more. They're pulsating with love
and light. Vibrating.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Good for them. I'd say we got a 50-50 shot now of it popping up. Probably be the last song they play at the festival, because Trey will just be feeling it. He will be feeling the love and the light, and people. You'll see people's headlights just like driving out.
It's such an odd song to follow Jibboo. I mean, after that, that's one of those things that we're kind of like when we talked about how great the first set was, what they could have done in the second set. It could have had a lot of more in it, you know what I mean? But like they kind of saved it till the very end, the very last song. They couldn't like get the whole thing together and like make it. They had to have that. That is the final. But what are you gonna do?
There it is.
That's
Thanks,
PHiSH.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow night, 15 minutes after Encore. Like,
I won't. I'll see you guys at Monday Green. Find us.
Can't wait.